you doing? What are you doing, Sage?
Did you get one before?
No.
Did she move too fast?
I got the video going now. I'm waiting for her to do it again. I don't know where she thinks she's going with it. She brought that all the way from your bathroom?
Yeah, it's my shower mat. I think it's over. Like I told you, she must have been the one that did it that one time where fucking thing.
Well, now we know it was.
Yeah, it was laying in the damn hallway the one time. I'm like, what the hell?
Here it is.
You done?
Are you done, Sage? What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You nasty. Alright, it is super loud because the cicadas are making their noises. A lot of things are making noises, but I'm going to do a quick garden update. I have not been able to because we had a lot of storms. The garden is doing great though. The wheat got harvested already, so this is just a bunch of trees trying to make their way in life that need to get pulled. It's been hard to get out here because every time I do, there's another thunderstorm and another thunderstorm and another thunderstorm. But we're in an area where we get a lot of thunderstorms. My carrots are right here. It's like a big bunch of seeds for carrots. Yes, I'm smoking. I'm horrible. I know. But I have these look like they're about ready to be pulled. Lots of carrot seeds. Super happy. I have a lot more coming in too. So I'm going to have a lot of carrot seeds for next year. This is, I think it's my cilantro, and it's been going to seed, so I have lots of coriander now. So I gotta come out here soon and pick the seeds. My dills are going to seed already too. So I'm gonna have a lot of dill seeds. I don't know what the heck is wrong with these guys. They're dying off and they shouldn't be. I've not sprayed or nothing. There's a lot of dandelions in here, but I let them stay, because then I can pull them up and keep the roots for medicinal stuff. So we do that. My thyme and my oregano are just out of control here, as you can tell. They're all kinds of crazy, and it looks great. So we're going to be harvesting that very shortly. This, I don't know what that is though, but yeah, my something came through and some of my chives did make it. Okay. My chives made it. I think my salsify did too. It's a little overgrown in here because I haven't come through and weeded it. But my basil's also doing great. And my parsley is already bolted. This right here, as pretty as this is growing out of control, but it's a type of purple sweet potato. It's kind of all over the place here. Let me try to zoom it out. Yeah, all over the place. My other potatoes are ending their life cycle. So they're going to be coming up shortly. And most of them are underground, but we do have one beautiful purple majesty right there, which is still connected to a root, so I'm not going to mess with it. It's kind of small though. But yeah, we have a lot of them still kind of growing, so I'm letting them be till these are completely all died back. So lots of potatoes are going to be coming out of that. Super excited. My Brussels sprouts aren't doing as good as I hoped, but their soil really dipped down quite a bit. So they're not doing great, but they're little babies. I was hoping they'd be a lot further along by now. But the storms have not helped with that. My celery is actually doing amazing since they murdered all the spinach from trying to grow. So here's my celery is growing really good. So I'm gonna have a lot of celery to can this year or to freeze dry. Probably freeze dry. That's what I do with them. Okay, my tomatoes are doing amazing. This is actually the first time I've seen color on them, but I have a lot of big tomatoes coming up all over the place here. If you look all the way down here, you'll see a bunch of tomatoes as we go. I only have one bell pepper, which kind of makes me sad. Out of all the bell peppers, I have one, and I believe it's the Cajun. Oh, where'd it go? Don't tell me I lost my only bell pepper. He was here. Can I explain why I have no bell peppers if something's eating them? Well, that sucks. I had a bell pepper. Oh, no, it's over here. Okay. These are the black beauties, and they do not produce anything. It's weird because I saw a bunch of little babies like starting to do their forming thing. Like they're doing now again, but it's probably too late. Okay. Here's my bell pepper. This is my Cajun bell pepper. So I'm going to make a sweet and spicy relish with this one bell pepper that actually came up. My jalapenos are doing great. They're about ready for harvest. A lot of them are. So I have lots of jalapenos. This shouldn't be a jalapeno though. Maybe I got mixed up. We shall see. Sometimes when planting, things get kind of mixed up. And yeah, see there's lots of tomatoes all over the place. They're a little more cramped than they wanted, and I did try to weed them out through them, but it didn't always work. Okay, so here, my onions and garlic. My garlic did not do good at all. The soil just shrunk down too much for them to work. My onions have been, I guess the storm took that away, working on putting on seeds and covered in dandelions. So they're not doing so good, but next year's we're going to do something totally different and should do a lot better. My radishes, these are the new ones that I got planted after the fact, and they're doing great. The other ones are putting on little seed pods. And these ones are almost ready for seed too, because these are the sugar beets. So these are also about ready for seed. And yeah, my radishes. No, these are sweet. These are sugar beets, and those are radishes over there. But they're moving every which way. And my jalapenos got some weird growth things going on, some of them. But they're doing okay. Not as great as they could be, but they're doing okay. Tomatoes are absolutely out of control. I keep coming in here and either tying them down or using my little, since I fixed my tape thing, I just tape them to the trellis. But these are going to get moved over rows next year. We're doing more planters, but we're going to use cloth ones. Look at that beautiful thing. Oh my God. This guy here is a beast. So jalapenos are doing good. Ooh. Well, okay, anyways. Tomatoes are just, yeah. They're going to get moved over a row next year, the tomatoes are. I'll keep the trellis for beans and some more like melons and stuff. The tomatoes are going to go over here, and they're going to get the pole system like these guys did, but with more poles to help pull them upright. So they're going to come here. And then a lot of the herbs are going to get moved to different planters out this way. There's going to be little cloth ones that we fill up. I finally found a local source for compost and fertilizer, so that'll be a lot easier to fill these up all the way. Otherwise, you know, it's still really great soil that we have here. I mean, look how beautiful this soil is. So a lot of the composting and the topsoil we added is just amazing. So I'm not mad about, or I'm not unhappy with the soil we got. I just want better bulk. And my wheat. Squirrel came through and was eating my wheat, so we pulled them all up. Guess he missed some. So did I, but the wheat's gonna go in its own little bin too. Let's pull this back. Okay, so tomatoes still looking good. My Anheims, they were throwing off some big ones here, and they're actually ready to get pulled now because that one's starting to turn red. So my Anaheims are good. I don't think I have as much as I'd like, but the tomatoes are really shadowing them. Got lots of tomatoes. I have quite a few pumpkins. This was my first, and it's finally starting to change colors. And I got a lot of pinto beans already that I've pulled off, but the internet lied and said they were bush beans, and as you can tell, they're not bush beans. They're all over the place here. Cucumbers are doing amazing. I've already got my pickles done, and as you can tell, I have more ready to pick. I don't have my clippers, so I can't do that right now, but I have pickles galore coming here. This is just what we didn't get a couple days ago. Oh, look at that. This one's finally starting to put some beans on. Cool stuff. I forget which bean this is. I think that was like I don't remember, but yeah, so the pintos are about done with their cycle, and I've come through and I've cleaned most of them out already, so the squirrels didn't get them, because I never know what squirrels are and aren't going to eat. Yeah, this is the Chinese purple long bean. That's what these are. I think these are for fresh eating. Ooh, look at this. That little cute little cucumber looking thing. My my honeydew and my Japanese melon did not seem to come through. I really need to come through here because these things are getting huge. Okay, my purple green beans are done. They're basically, the bugs pretty much got them, but I got everything I'm really going to get out of them. There's a little bit left, but that's about it. So they're pretty much done with their season too. These ones have not produced much, but I know I have a yellow one in here, down in there. And here's a new baby one that just popped up recently. So I have a couple of these. That one's about ready to be pulled. This one's not quite, obviously. But the cucumbers are just going to keep producing a lot of cucumbers. This is just a pickling cucumber that I got at the store, so it's not a fancy seed, but it's very prolific. And it grows really great. Now these guys can get air, they're starting to come up a little bit too, or sunlight. And just cucumbers everywhere. So I already did all my pickling that I wanted to do for the year. I just want to do a sweet relish, and that's about it. Everything else we're using is fresh eating, and we're making in salads. Yeah. Here's the pinto beans right here. Okay, let's come around to the other side. Soybeans are doing great too. This thing likes to flop from side to side. So let's... Whoa, okay. You need to stop pulling on my fence, buddy. Go on. Stay. Okay, so here's more pumpkins, and that one is even bigger. I'll get to that in a minute. I have to come through and trim these quite often because otherwise they just keep growing and growing and growing. And I think I have all the pumpkins I'm going to need. So I have that big one there. I have this little one here. There's a new one there, and I saw a couple others starting to come. And then I usually come through and trim out and give these guys some light. My soybeans are doing great. Up in the front as well, they're putting on lots of beans. So I'm super excited about that. So I'm also going to have seed for next year. Which is great because these guys, they're really putting on. Well, they'd be a little bit bigger, but that's fine. These are good too. These are going to be in a different system next year as well. Yeah, soybeans galore. And then there's this guy hiding here too. So lots of pumpkins, lots and lots of pumpkins. And more baby cucumbers. So I'm going to come back out here later, since we have a little bit of sun today. We've had storms galore lately. But I'm going to come out later and with my basket, my cutter, and pull all these guys up. Okay. Now zucchinis have given me a couple big ones. And I saw one growing. Oh yeah, here we go. Another big one right here. I'll have to come and get him too. So I've gotten 3 zucchinis or 4 zucchinis now. And I'm about to shred them and freeze dry them and make cucumber bread out of them when I get time. I've had a lot of time lately to myself. That one's cute. It's just a little ball with a little pinky. Anyways, yeah. These are just baby plants, so they're not doing that great, but they're cute. Yeah. And this guy's just huge. Just trying too hard. Okay, so we put a cage up for the corn. And 2 storms in, and it knocked the whole cage over, pulled the whole thing up. It was crazy. It was terrible, but crazy. We tried to put it back up the best we could. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure all the squirrels and everything can get in and get all the corn if there's any left. So getting corn this year might just not happen, and the peas, and oh my gosh, look at that squash right up there. So, yeah. This is just being overtaken, and I needed to close the gap, but I didn't get to, so squirrels can still get in, so that kind of defeats the purpose of the cage. And they kind of just all fell here. So we had to stick a pole there. We meant to get a pole to stick here, and we didn't do that for some reason. I guess they didn't. We got them, we just didn't put them up. But the beans are kind of trying to do their thing at this point. They're loving the trellis. So we're going to have to fix this before next year. And put more of these poles down into the ground to hold them up. So that's basically what we're going to do. After that, this should be able to sit upright because it's just everything's laying on it. This is unfortunately the case. And then, yeah, the sweet potato squash is just taking over. We just let it, kind of. Maybe it helps keep the squirrels away. Yeah, that's the only ear of corn I really see right there. It looks pretty good. But that's really all I see. There's probably more in there, and we're not going to find out until later, which is fine because the corn's going to stay there till later. Assuming nobody gets to it. But, yeah. It's a hassle. Lots of sweet potatoes. So it was a nice half thought through system that kind of worked. But yeah, the storm came. Everything else survived, but this entire platform just picked up and pulled out of the ground from here. Just pulled up and fell over. So it was a day in a lot of heat and humidity trying to fix that, but it is what it is. I might just not be able to grow corn here, or next year we're just going to have to start trapping squirrels and moving them across the river so that they can stay in the wild and not mess up with the garden. There's so many little babies now. I was kind of weaving it all together in a wire, and the next day it blew over. So, yeah, but it is what it is. I don't know. I don't really see any extra ears of corn going through here. There were a bunch before the whole thing blew over. This fence does not want to stay up. They don't seem to mess with most of the garden except for the wheat. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more ears of corn, but that might just be all we get, and it just corn might not be something I can grow. It's always a storm that pulls them out, but we're gonna be throwing in a lot more soil next year and then digging it and planting them a lot deeper. Try again next year and see how that goes. Get this cage fixed because this was expensive to put together. I'm just gonna take my little thing and just pull these together. It was set so that this frame would detach from, hold on. We had it set up as soon as we nailed in the top parts. This frame is being held together with screws right here, which is holding this board into this board. And then we just take the screws out and this board will lift up with all the screen on it. And that's how this was set up to go. And now we have a hole in there too, which does not help. Oh man. Shoot. Yeah. So the whole system kind of failed. It was a great idea. It was a way of trying to cage the corn to keep the animals out. But the winds just really did a number. Yeah, see this guy here? he's gonna get trimmed. But you can still see the beans and stuff coming through. I haven't seen any bean pods on here, if I'm being honest. Or we might just dismantle the whole thing and try something else. Don't know yet. I'll have to figure it out this winter when I'm planning everything. But that is the garden update so far. Most of it's doing good. It's just really cramped for the little space I had. I grew a lot. And next year it's going to be the cloth raised beds that you can buy on Amazon fairly cheap. Just little bits here and there, just all over the place for here. There's some for beans that are going to come out here. You just have like this little rectangle thing with a little trellis for the beans, so each bean will get their own little plot. And it should make a huge difference though. And then we'll have more room for like the cantaloupes and stuff like that we want to grow as well. And then the tomatoes, which I did try to trim them at a certain point, but they just don't want to quit. I keep trying to take the tops off to get them to stop growing, but I can't reach a lot of those. So that is basically it. A lot of things are ready to go, and we're just going to start harvesting here very shortly. So yeah, that should be fun. And these things are just out of control. Next year potatoes are going in bags as well. I already have potato grow bags, plus we have some we have a one of those brown sacks or whatever. I forget what they're called offhand. That we got a big thing of corn in, because we get sweet corn from these people, and that's what I used to can my corn this year. So we're gonna grow some potatoes in that. A burlap sack, there we go, just a big burlap sack. So we're gonna grow some potatoes in that, and then we're gonna grow them in the grow bags and stuff like that. So potatoes are gonna be a lot better organized than this. And then that way you just kind of, roll up and fill the soil in to a certain point, and then you're good to go. So we're going to do that. And then a lot of the things like the brassicas, we want to do cauliflower again. We want to do Brussels sprouts again. Those are going to go in just these types of grow bags over here. We're going to buy we're going to buy a lot more of that. This is a like a Purple Majesty sweet potato over here. That's hiding out in this little bin right here. And then this is a Choctaw sunflower, which I think is about to finally put a flower on. I finally got ginger to sprout, so I have ginger going as well. And that's my red currant, which I have to find a better thing for. My blueberry is not doing so great. I don't know what it was. I replanted it, and it's just starting to die out for some reason. And that is a giant sequoia with a lot of dandelions. This is basically because the dandelions are a pain to pull out, and then the roots break, and I wanted the roots, so you put them in softer soil, then you have an easier time pulling them out. So yeah, my lemon balm got a late start, so I'm supposed to put that. Anyways, and my orange tree is doing fabulous. It's got 2 growths this year and put on some big branches. This is one that's recent. And then some over here are also recent. So she's doing good. I broke one off by accident, which makes me sad because this area is kind of blank and could use a branch. But she's doing good. She's getting thicker base. So we're good there. My red tie is just being my red tie. Probably gonna love it when it doesn't have to share the sun with the orange tree. Oh, my artichokes have been surviving the heavy storms over here. This is where we get most of our sunlight, and they weren't doing good. All they're doing is stupid squirrels. Squirrels like to come into my pots and dig, unfortunately. But all they were doing is putting on leaves and nothing else. It's because they weren't getting enough light, and now they're still just putting on leaves, but they're getting more light, so who knows, maybe something. It's kind of late in the year. And I have to come through with a weed eater and clear this out by next week, because we're putting in a giant concrete thing here next week, hopefully, so that the camper and the RV can just park right here on the side of the house. We shall see. So that is the update for now. It's really gorgeous, garden. It really is. It could have been done better. I kind of crammed everything. I did make sure they're all fertilized, and they're about to get fed again soon. So it's not like they're starving or anything like that. They're all well fed. They're just crammed in and not getting as much light as they should because all the extra trees that we have that we never took down. Those two, that one and that one. But we're going to move the garden out where there's more light too, so a lot of things will get a lot more light. So that's what we're going to be doing next year. But for now, everything's doing pretty good. Tomatoes are going to, looks like they're going to have a pretty good yield, so I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to wait for all my beans to kind of dry up, and like the pinto beans, and I should have lots of good beans. So alright, I'll try not to wait so long for videos and updates, but that's it for today. Sorry, I've turned the camera around, but I feel like absolute crap, as you could probably hear. But we're good for now, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys. Don't forget, you can check out the Facebook group. The link is on my YouTube page, or you can click the QR code right here on your screen. Hope you enjoy.